separate written at the end for those for the written boys. No problem. Yeah, of course.
How are you? Hi mate. Okay. Love to see everyone face to face, to be honest. It's been quite a few years.
If you could be patient, we've got a mic for the questions as well. Thank you.
I think I'll be able to hear everyone.
Yeah, I think so. It's for the audience. Cameras at the back, okay? All good? James, over to you.
Any Forest fans in? You read?
Should we start with that then?
If you want. I feel absolutely superb. Yeah. Sunday was one of the best sporting days ever. Just love it. It wasn't a classical game, but I don't think they ever are. But see Nottingham, see Forest, the sea of red back in the Premier League. You know, everyone I've spoken to is delighted. I don't know any Huddersfield fans, so everyone I've spoken to is delighted.
Can you stay there now, do you think?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, we've got great young players. We've got a brilliant manager, and the city. You can just see the support that the city's shown to the team. So, yeah, you got to look at teams that have gone up and had success and try and replicate it. Really.
I suppose you could probably do with another winter off, couldn't you? So you go see them more often next season.
Well, the fixtures.
I'm only joking.
Yeah. It's actually quite a quiet winter if you look at the Test cricket this winter, so eagerly awaiting the fixture list.
And in terms of the city, what it means to Nottingham, can you give us an idea?
Well, you just have to look at the pictures yesterday that of the town square. It was insane. I mean, walking down Wembley Way on Sunday afternoon, I think the whole of Nottingham was there. You know, so many familiar faces, and just the atmosphere and the excitement for the chance to get to the Premier League was pretty special. So 23 years, I think the fans deserve the chance to go and see some Premier League football, and to have the likes of Manchester United and Man City and Liverpool come to the City Ground. It'll be pretty awesome.
And has it added to your feel-good factor as you return to the England team?
Yeah, I'm flying. I'm just excited to be around. You know, it's the chance of being at the home of football and home of cricket in the same week. If you'd have told a 12-year-old myself as a 12-year-old kid that, I wouldn't have believed you. So it's going to be a great week.
Good to be back with the team after missing out on the winter. That would have hurt, I know, but are you excited about this new era?
Very much so, yeah. I mean, there's obviously a big change in the leadership roles above the team's head, and really good guys in place there, and looking forward to getting moving and getting on the pitch. We've only been together as a squad since Monday morning. Brendan and Stokesy have obviously led one training session, and we go again this afternoon, but there's an excited feel to the group. We went to St George's Park last week for a couple of days and got together and had a team meal that night, and there's a lot of energy and a lot of focus to get going for a busy international summer.
Can you give us an insight into what you did at St George's Park?
Well, that was mainly sort of the medicals and fitness testing and health screenings, etc., and then just a team meal in the evening, just getting the squad together before the serious business arrived yesterday. And Brendan and Stokesy just spoke briefly in the changing room yesterday morning about their direction and how they see the team wanting to play, and that mindset of sort of going towards the danger, not being frightened of attacking Test cricket and stepping forward. And it seems a really exciting mindset to go into Test cricket with, and whether that's implemented straight away on Thursday or whether it takes a couple of games to settle in, I'm not sure. But we know that Brendan's had incredible success as a player and as a leader in New Zealand, and has gone into coaching and has a real clear mindset on how he wants cricket to be played, and you can see he had a great stamp on New Zealand cricket, and hopefully he can have that stamp on English cricket.
And in terms of yourself, how tough was it being left out in the winter, and are there any scars there? How are you feeling now?
Not at all. No, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm very forward focused. I'm very excited to be here at Lord's. I'm sort of going in with that mindset that just to attack each week as hard as I can, leave my heart and soul on the field, and taking my mindset back to as if I played 0 Test cricket. and have zero experience. You don't look too far ahead before you've made your test debut. You're just looking to and excited to play the next game. So that's very much the mindset I'm going in with. I just want to feel fresh and attack the strategy behind Lords here. So looking at particular ends and particular angles that work for me here. Leave my heart and soul on this field and then move on.
Taking you back to when you learned you weren't in the squad, was there ever a time you thought you might quit, might give up?
No, I mean I'm obviously delighted to be in this first test squad. Obviously I was disappointed to miss out on a test tour, but that's life, that's selection, and I just had to work hard and get back to Nottinghamshire and prove that. Prove that I want and the team would want me around on this environment. And I've loved playing for Notts. I played 3 games, had a really nice impact on a fantastic squad that have got some great young players. And I think when you get a bit older, you get a lot of energy from the cricketers you're playing with. And at Notts, I've not seen a more exciting young group of players come through the setup. So I really enjoyed my little period with them, the 3 games I was around and the training beforehand. And that's given me a lot of drive and a lot of energy for this summer.
And finally, for me, because I'm hogging the mic, but can I just get a word on Matt Potts and what you've made of him?
I've never seen him bowl a ball until yesterday, so it's really exciting. He deserves his chance. He's obviously done fantastically for Durham at the start of this season. He looks strong. He looks robust. He bowls good pace. And he bowls wicket-taking balls. I watch the ECB app of all the wickets every game, and he's been really impressive with what he does. He brings a great energy to the group. He's sort of that not quite as energetic as Mark Wood, but on that sort of level. So he'll be great to have around. I think I'm bowling with him today at training, so that would be great to get a close input as. Insight as to what he does and learn what makes him feel good and what makes him settle. His biggest target for this week will be just transferring what he's done for Durham on a domestic level onto the international stage. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter where you're bowling. Still, the top of off stump with the occasional bouncer is a pretty successful ball in Test cricket. A good mindset to have. It'll just be about controlling his energy and his feelings towards flipping that into the international arena.
Stuart, it seems that the policy of rotating or indeed resting bowlers has gone from England now. I mean, the idea is to play the best players who are available. Does that therefore make you even feel more secure about your place in the team right now?
As I say, it's just putting my mindset playing for Nottinghamshire at the start of the year was, can I put in performances that are going to help Notts win, and if I do that, I've got a chance of getting picked for the first Test match. And now I've been picked in the squad. It's all about focusing very much on Lords. I've sort of gone away completely of that, looking at what's happening in August or what's going to happen in November, because I can't control that, and it looks too far away. I'm just going to give everything for that 1 week of the Test match, try and win that week, learn from it, and move on to the next. And I think that will be a really good mindset for the team as well, because if we start looking and planning too far ahead, you can lose that mindset and that focus of what's right in front of you. And at the moment, we've got the World Test champions at our home, and New Zealand have got a decent record in England, and it's important for us to start this summer strongly. And that's very much what the energy has been around at training. It's all about that first hour on Thursday, and we adapt and we evolve from there.
Over your years with the Test team, Stuart, the England Test team has been very well supported, and that's certainly not the case in other parts of the world, as you well know. Right now, there's a lot of pressure on people economically. Coming to a Test match is not cheap, and England haven't won many matches. Do you accept that you have to kind of work to get support? You can't guarantee that those seats are going to be filled for Test matches.
Yeah, it's a style. I think it's not just results. It's a style of cricket you play, and So from the outside, when you see a Brendan McCullum and a Ben Stokes mindset come together, I mean, we're all cricket fans in here. That's pretty exciting, isn't it? And then it's up to the players to go and deliver the requirements that those guys want. Brendan's come into the bowling group and said, I'm not, don't focus too much on economy rates, don't focus too much, I want wickets, let's try and get as many wickets as we can as quickly as possible and have that mindset of where can I get an extra slip from, where can I get a short leg from, rather than being too defensive. And that's something that then the bowlers will have to implement depending on what the pitch is doing. But so I think the fans, to attract the fans to come and watch the team play, it's very much we've got to build on that style of cricket and have a style of cricket that people want to watch. Trent Bridge is sold out for the first 3 days, so there still is that support there for the team. But just as a player's point of view, we've got to make that commitment that we're going to be exciting and we want to draw people through the gates.
Sure. Just finally from me, I thought I'd ask you from a bowler's perspective about injuries. I mean, you're fit and well, and so many of England's fast bowlers, yeah, for sure, but so many aren't. I mean, is that just purely luck, or is there something that the younger guys are not doing or doing wrong? Yeah,
it's a really difficult one, and we have got a great group of medical team around us looking into that. There's been it's particularly stress fractures that have been quite highlighted in recent times, and there might be a few different reasons for that. When you look back at the COVID era where you couldn't move between bubbles, so when I was in that stress fracture zone of 21 to 25, if I didn't play for England, I'd go back and play for Leicester or Notts, or I'd go and play. So I was getting my overs in quite regularly, whereas we were sort of locked into bubbles where if you didn't play a test match, you then couldn't go and get any cricket. So this is just me thinking out loud, really. I wonder if the bones have just lost the impact of what it needs for fast bowling, and then when you do spike it up again, the bone's not ready for it. But it might just be unlucky that we've had a big spate of stress fractures. We've also wintered in Australia, where the training grounds and the match grounds are much harder than the UK, so a lot more stress goes through the body. But it also, it brings a huge importance to the group we've got here, that we look after ourselves and we keep ourselves as fit and fresh as possible. We get the balance right between training and intensity to then moving into match mode, because it's unrealistic to think you can be at 100% intensity all the time in every spell you bowl at training and then deliver that for 5 days in a row as well. So just making sure that we gauge the right intensity in training, because obviously you want to impress a new captain, new coach, but making sure you're ready to strike out in the middle.
Take a few more. Sam from
Stuart, how excited are you to play under Ben Stokes as captain, and what differences, if any, do you think there'll be in captaincy between Ben and Joe?
Yeah, hard to know the differences until he's had a run. I've Stokesy captained when Joe got hit in the private area in Adelaide. Stokesy captained for about an hour, I think. But he's already sort of said, I've not done a lot of captaincy, certainly in the 4-day stuff. He'll want help, he'll want input, but we're gonna try and play on the front foot at all occasions. I think he's one of those guys that he will lead by example and lead by what he does. You only had to watch him in the nets yesterday for those who were, and it felt like you were bowling at him in the World Cup final, to be honest, in 50 over stuff. He played extremely aggressively, and that's something that Stokesy will do in training. He'll set certain goals in his training session to, right, I'm going to work on the leave here, or I'm going to work on playing close to my body, or I'm going to work on expansive shots. And yesterday he had that mindset that, I'm going to work on that Barbados style innings, and it was extremely impressive to watch. And then that's actually inspiring for younger players to see that it doesn't matter if you get out 5 times in a net. You're building a confidence and a mindset that you can grow as a player. And he's someone that I think you can watch in training and what he'll take into a game and learn and grow from.
And if I can just ask you one more on the football, one man who's probably as ecstatic as you about Forest going up is Stuart Pearce. He's on the TalkSport Breakfast Show tomorrow morning. Just what are your memories of Stuart Pearce with Nottingham Forest?
Good question. My biggest memory is in with England. When he scored that penalty in Euro '96 and screamed at the crowd. And I always see him as a Forest legend. He was one of my favourite players growing up, and to see his happiness for a club that he played for such a long time for and managed. he's someone that wants the best for Nottingham Forest, and I'm sure he'll be a supporter through our Premier League years to come as well. So he's a Forest legend, and I'll never forget that roar when he walked out as a manager. That psycho chant that came through was just outrageous. So he's a Forest legend, and I'm sure he's as happy as everyone that we've made it back.
We'll take 3 more. Daniel, and then 2 more after that.
Daniel from TVNZ. I hear you talk about the excitement having Baz and Stokes there. I know it's only been a couple of days, but some would argue that leaders are only as good as long as their teams are. What's the morale in the team now? I know it's only a couple of days, but have you noticed a change in the team morale, and has there been a shift in the culture?
It is really early days, but they're inspiring characters. I've been lucky enough to play quite a lot against Baz, and I know the type of leadership he'll bring. As a player, he was obviously very passionate and very driven and very exciting the way he went about his business, but extremely competitive. He certainly, when I was a young player, he'd let you know that you're under pressure in the Test match arena, and he was a tough competitor, but someone who you respected highly. Certainly the way he played, and I just think the way that they'll talk in the change room and the messages that they'll deliver to the team each day will grow the group. And there's not massive game plans or not too much things to really sort of close your mind down. It's very much a freedom of going out and play and backing you to go out and play. If you make mistakes, it's fine, but as long as you're doing it in a way that can improve the team and drive the team forward. He said, as a coach, he'll be tough at times, and he'll be very honest. That's what he was like as a player, and as a team, and as a player, you've got to be very welcoming to that and accept that and take the information on and move that forward. I think it took most of us by surprise when he got named as Test coach. There was all the talk about maybe him taking the white ball job, but I think when you actually look at the job, it's a hugely exciting job to take on, to flip the mindset of the team and to change the style of play, because the talent's there. You only have to look at Zach Crawley, Ollie Pope, and these young players play, Harry Brook, and you think, wow, these are players that I see day in, day out, and are superb talents. If they can grow with this forward-facing mindset and move on from what's happened in the last couple of years that's been so unique in the conditions we've been playing with, we've already got an automatic freedom. Just the fact that I can be in this room with you guys is like an automatic freedom. It feels a really exciting group to be a part of, and those two will lead us forward, and it feels like it will be a fun team to play for.
We'll go Julian last one then.
Stuart, you talked earlier about New Zealand having had a fair bit of success over here, especially last year, and they seem to do well early season. What makes them difficult opponents in English conditions?
They've got world-class batters, haven't they, that consistently score runs. Latham Kane's obviously a huge example of that. Conway came in and batted really well in England last summer, and they've got that that bowling group that can extract well out of the English conditions. Southey Bolt, proven world-class performers. Jameson's come in and been superb in the Test arena, and Wagner's been in the top 10 for ages as well. So they're a really successful team, but certainly not a team that we as an England group, particularly with this new environment coming in, that we can get too swarmed by. Of course, as a bowling group, we're going to look at the strategies and the ways and the strengths and weaknesses of all the batters. But it's very important this week that we're very much, what are we doing? How are we going about our business? What stamp are we looking to put on the Test match? And if we do that, we'll put New Zealand under pressure, like we have done in English conditions to a lot of teams. It's important that we adapt the quickest. We see what the Lord's pitch is going to do, and we move the game forward quicker than they do.
Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. We're going to do a written round table. Just come round here, we'll just do it quite informal. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
I think it's raining, so I'm not sure whether we're going to start on time, but we will see. Possibly, yeah, possibly. So,